Ladies and gentlemen, for our first talk of the day, let me introduce you CEO and co-founder Mariam Akobian for Software. She's going to talk about how to build software without devs. It's blazing fast. Welcome. Greet her warmly.
Can you hear me? Hey everyone. Good morning. So, thank you everyone for being here. So today we're going to talk about how to build software without devs. Sorry, can you hear me on the back? Okay, awesome. So, well, first of all, I'm so excited to be back on this stage 1 year later, and it has been an incredible journey for no-code, incredible 1 year. And I'm excited to also share what we have done with software over the last 1 year, 2 years, and where the future heads. So before diving in, let's step back and understand how technology evolved over the last few years and what is the state of the software usage today in organizations. So decades ago, companies were using still email, Excel. Okay. It's working, just a bit slow. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, decades ago, companies were using email, Excel, Google Sheets, and of course, offline Excel as well to do their work. And with the COVID happening, of course, more and more organizations needed to digitize their processes and the work they were doing offline. And especially also with economic crisis, more and more technology companies had to cut costs and really focus on what makes the most impact on the business. And then more and more companies started using more flexible, adaptable tools. It's automate workflows, manual processes, and of course, do it more efficiently and with lower costs, with using tools like Zapier, Airtable, and Make. However, with the technology evolving so fast over the last decades, we're still facing 3 big challenges. First being the talent shortage. There's still only 27 million developers in the entire world, which by now we all know it's only 0.3% of the entire population. So there is more than billion users or business users to be precise, that could be building their own solutions. And the second problem is that existing solutions, the more vertical SaaS products, are really rigid, they're not flexible, and they can't adapt to today's needs. And the third bigger problem is also that today more and more knowledge workers are tech savvy. They want to build their own solutions. They don't want to wait and have to rely on developers to do the work. So even if assuming company has engineering power, which some companies do, still to build a simple CRM or a client portal is going to require at least 6 months of engineering effort, $100,000, and at least team of engineers, back-end, front-end, DevOps. So that means it's still pretty inefficient. Even when the solution is out, it's already outdated because the problem evolved and the solution doesn't match the needs anymore. So we need a solution that's really flexible, adaptable to everyone's need, and that easy also for everyone to build their own solutions. And that's what Softr empowers people to do. So Softr is extremely easy to use for anyone within the organization to build the tools that they would have to rely on developers otherwise. So I want to take a step back and share where we are with Softr today. Softr launched the actual application builder, only launched about 2 years ago, so that's not that long. And then we have evolved the platform quite a lot since then. So our mission has always been to empower people to create software, anyone. And to achieve that mission, we believe that the platform has to be simple and powerful at the same time. And it's really, in order to make that possible, so what's really, like a question actually, I get quite a lot asked from VCs I talk to or candidates I interview over and over again is, what is the biggest challenge of building software? And I think my answer kept staying consistent as the years passed by. it's the biggest challenge of creating such an intuitive and easy to use platform is actually figuring out how do you turn these technical concepts and very technical complex systems into something that's extremely simple to use, at the same time doesn't really require you understanding how technology works, because most of the people do not have that understanding, do not have that expertise. So I think, and that's a challenge that keeps coming back every day. It's not like you solve it once and then you are done. Every new powerful feature you add, which is actually technical and you have to turn into UX, you have to balance and figure out what is the right balance between customizability and constraints to keep it simple. So with software building, software application building on its own is quite a complex system with lots of moving parts. However, there is 3 main components to it. And if you ask every engineer, they know this by heart. So first, a database, basically a place to store and manage your entire application's data and have them easily accessible, secure, and be able to manage that easily. Design and layout, it's the UI interface that uses to represent all of this data to the users in a UI user-friendly and an intuitive manner, so that people can interact with the interfaces, manage data, navigate pages, etc. And then logic and user authentication, which is basically the logic, the users, the rules, the actions that really govern the application's behavior and functions. So we want Softr to excel in all of this. And we have been hard at work for the past 2 years to make this possible, and I want to share where we are today with this. So on the database side, first, data agnostic. We are now data agnostic, and what that means is we have launched with Airtable being the backend and early on, and then we have expanded that to Google Sheets, Smartsheet launching just today, HubSpot and Google BigQuery coming soon. Delightful, simple, and fun building experience. We want the building experience not just be getting your job done, but we also want it to be fun. And while you couldn't say the same thing about Softr early on, and we still have a we still have lots of work to do to make it even easier, but I'm really proud of where we are today with the building experience. In fact, Softr very often gets involved into the list of top no-code 5 no-code tools to start your no-code journey with. Mobile. It's not just easy and fast to build your app with Softr. At the same time, it's also very easy to just turn it into a mobile app with a click of a button. Templates, templates, 70+ templates. We want to help our customers to kickstart their building journey and also to do a lot of the work for them. So we have launched 70+ templates for different industries, different use cases to help them do the job easier. And also 100+ building blocks for the most common patterns and functionalities to help them visualize their data and to get to the end state much faster without having to build it from scratch themselves. So very often we get associated with Canva, with being called as Canva of no-code, Canva of web apps, and that is really, that helps us reaffirm that we are on the right journey, which means people using Canva here probably recognize because Canva basically what they did is they completely reimagined and empowered everyone to build designs without having to be a designer. So logic and user authentication is the third component. And over the last years, we have launched powerful functionality on the application building and logic side, which also helps build any size of businesses, helps build them sophisticated portals and internal tool applications. So some of that being action buttons as one example. So those are the action buttons on your interface in your application that let you perform direct database operations like creating, updating, deleting information. User groups and permissions. So you can define your custom user groups with pretty granular detail of permissions of what each user can access, can manage in the application depending on their access levels. Forms 2.0, this one is exciting, I think for lots of also customers. Basically, think of this as replacing the need to use any other external form builder. It's launching, coming soon, but it's a form builder with conditional logic, multiple pages, and a workflow builder as well. And multiple ways to visualize and interact with your data in a more powerful way, like charts. We launched it early on, kept iterating, and now with these types of blocks, you can also build entire dashboards and reporting like applications. Calendars and Kanbans to visualize data, build different project management tools, or basically to customize the workflows to your needs specifically. Collaborators and workspaces. So it's more than easier than ever now to collaborate with your team members as well as external partners or agencies in a more organized workspace manner and much easier. We have also now 30 plus integrations that help you extend your functionality beyond what Softr offers, including Zapier and Make, which make it especially more powerful just because they help you connect and do actions outside your Airtable and Softr ecosystem. And you can connect simply to 6,000 plus external third-party applications as well through them. So our mission with Softr is not just build an intuitive no-code platform, but it goes beyond that, and we want to build the biggest no-code ecosystem, which means for all of the people to come, discover, create, and share their no-code apps with the community. Over the past years, Softr's growth mainly has been fueled by the community. Every day we see thousands of applications built by creators, shared with the community, and it's mind-blowing what types of things they're building. In June this year, we launched Softr Universe, which is a place for creators to share and use templates created by the community members. And I'm sure many of the community members, I have seen them as well, are sitting here. And I want to extend my thank you to all of them for making this possible. We have also been listed as G2 leader in several categories, and we have also got became number one product of the year last year. So truly, our goal is really to make software building 100 times easier, faster, and cheaper. So to illustrate that point, let me share 2 examples of our customers, how they're leveraging Softr and what's the impact that Softr is having on their organizations. First, American Institute of Research. It's world's largest institute of research, behavioral science research organizations, and they have thousands of researchers in their network, and they are doing hundreds of projects every year. So they have been using, before Softr actually, the biggest challenge they had was how do they manage all of this information, all of the researchers' skills, understand who is best suitable for what types of products. They have been doing everything manually. So with Softr, they have built an employee portal where it's really easily they can display all of this information from the researchers, let them showcase their skill sets, categorize them, and have it easily searchable and filterable. So that helps them to do several things. First, it helps them to, first of all, let the researchers self-serve through the platform, choose what projects they want to join, and also work with other people. It helps them as well to be able to easily allocate and more effortlessly, but also efficiently in a timely manner to know which researcher should join or be allocated to a specific project. So another example I want to share is from a venture capital fund. So Equity is one of the biggest venture capital funds internationally, and they are investing in private equity, growth equity, and venture capital in Europe. They have built an entire founder portal platform to manage their founders' information and let the founders self-serve, so logging into the application, get access to all of the resources, get access to the network of VCs, manage jobs, share jobs, etc. So it's basically, think of it as knowledge hub for the portfolio companies. So also over the last year, we have seen a tremendous growth in generative AI tools. And you can do things that is mind-blowing. It has completely shifted the way we are thinking and working online. From generating images, generating texts, to even generating websites. I'm sure many of you have used or seen these website generators, and they're doing an amazing job. And it's now possible to even basically generate your entire marketing website with it. And with Softr, so we haven't been resting either. We actually been the first no-code platform to introduce OpenAI integration last December. And we have seen amazing applications already out of that. It's not, and it goes beyond just generating images and text. And people are building things like entire applications, SaaS applications like Jasper AI, Copy AI, to manage, to have their own clients and to let their end users to leverage the data and generate images and text. So 2 examples brought here. One is Grower. It gives an expert advice on anything related to growth planting. And WorkScout AI, it's a job platform for job seekers to find jobs in the AI companies, and as well as generate job applications with AI and do a lot more. So however, it's basics, right? You generate text, images, and websites, and AI is helping us to really get some of the manual tasks, to automate some of those tasks or do it for us. But what's next? I believe that the promise of AI is really to 100x our capability and let us do things that we couldn't do before at scale. Now imagine, what if you could build an entire app with just a prompt? Full stack application like the databases, the front end, the business logic, user groups and permissioning, all of that. Now you can, introducing Softr AI. It's the first AI application builder that lets you build entire applications like portals, internal tools, anything else really, with just a prompt. So let's see how that works. You simply describe your text or the application idea, and you can use as many details as you like to help AI make better decisions. Something like client portal for a consultancy firm to track clients, project status all in one place. You choose your desired theme, colors, and you click generate. Now, what it does on the background, it generates the entire application for you. So it's generating the database structures, generating all of the copy based on your prompt, so contextual copy. It generates the front end, understanding what you want to build and generating all of the front end building blocks and pieces. Creates the actions and the logic in between, as well as creates multiple user groups and permissions, and lets you log in into the app with different user groups having access and doing different things with the platform. So as you're waiting, it's generating, and now we have the app up and running. So literally, you generate an app from a prompt in seconds. With that said, we're going to have on our booth, next to our booth, we're going to have the platform open, so feel free to come over and test it out. So, some examples, I just shared a bit, but to go into more details, portals, CRMs, team intranets, inventory management, anything really. It really contextually depends on what kind of prompt you are adding. So, what's next? We believe that beyond, it definitely will have to go beyond this. So this is kind of the first step of generating your entire application from scratch. Soon after, we're also going to introduce you having your own database and connecting that to the application builder. So the AI is even more contextual, understands even more contextually what to build on top of that. So what's the future holding for all of us? In 2011, Andreessen Horowitz famously said, software is eating the world. Last year, we said no code is eating the world, which I think all of us agreed last year. This year, I think we can safely say AI is eating the world. And in the next, I think when you combine these 2 paradigms, that's to me the most powerful that can happen in the future, because by combining both, you get the best of both worlds. And this is really, truly what I believe is going to empower anyone to become a builder 100 times even faster. Thank you. Any questions?
Don't be shy.
Sorry, we can't hear you, I think, on the back. Or maybe they're speaking on the phone.
Sorry.
Thank you for the presentation. Very nice.
Thank you.
So my question goes to the new AI. Are there any limitations? Could you build anything, SaaS products, big marketplaces, etc.?
Good question. So actually, funny enough, in Softr, marketplaces is such a common use case, even though we're not even sharing that on the website. So you can, with Softr, generally speaking, you can build anything. Obviously, there are constraints and limitations, and it fits best for certain use cases better than the others. And I would say marketplaces are not our top use case, and we're not necessarily building functionality for that use case or extending the functionality. We do offer payments, Stripe payments, that you can build your marketplace right now also on top of that, but we don't really go beyond that. So with the AI, you can't integrate payments, but if you want to build a two-sided marketplace with different user groups, etc., you can do that. Of course, it's also the first version, and we are testing this out for a while. And then as we go, we're adding more and more nuances, details. So AI, from outside, it seems like magic. It is magic, but in the end, there is like heavy technology and engineering involved in making it perfecting to the specific use cases. So not specific use cases, but really to make it work and in lots of edge cases. So that's something that, yes, as we go, we will keep improving.
Thanks. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Quick question. You spoke about being able to turn what you build into a mobile version. Is that like a hybrid app, mobile web responsive, or is it native?
No, it's not native. It's progressive web app. So what we have found is, it's a good question, because there is also lots of tools to generate like just native mobile apps. What we have found, especially with our customers, they usually don't need mobile native apps. They just need the mobile apps for especially their field workers or people who are still their workers, but they're not in the office, they're not using computer. So in those cases, they can simply just use the same app with all of the same functionality on the go, basically.
Hello, I'm from a system integrator, and we use low-code, no-code for solutions for our customers. But we noticed that there is a kind of border for using this kind of tools. When you, for example, build like very complex software with 250 tables, hundreds of screens, thousands of business rules, it gets quite unmanageable. For example, if you use Mendix with microflows, it's not doable. So what's your vision on low code for these kinds of systems?
Yeah, good question. Well, I think, first of all, there is the scalability aspect on the database and then the front end. The database, right now, we don't have our own database. We actually intentionally are integrating with external data sources because we see that that's where customers already store their data. So that question goes rather on the database side. If people, let's say, use their table and they cannot scale it beyond a certain point, they have to switch to other places. So in that regard, we want to connect to any type of data source that really helps customers to bring the data from anywhere. And then on the front end side, that's definitely on our end, and we want to make the platform in a way that it's scalable. So our own platform, some of our applications have hundreds of pages and building blocks, thousands of building blocks in those pages. So it is working. I think it's back to the scalability of the application. But in the end, also, I think the more core question is, what are the typical applications that are going to be built with no-code apps? Well, there is, of course, lots of companies and lots of also no-code companies that help people build their core product, where there is going to be millions of users running on the platform. I think for us, the core use cases where we have seen the biggest value within businesses is really helping them build the tools that they couldn't build, that developers are never going to be able to have the time to build it even. So developers should rather focus on the core business applications, what's really bringing the value to customers, and everything else, which is almost 99% of the other software in the organization, is something that also a lot of the times doesn't exist. That's what we want to be able for all of the others, empower them to build. So those are typically not the million request type applications, which is fine, but I think that's where we see the business value, biggest business value.
Hey, Mariam. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Here from Bardeen, and I have a question about the Softr AI. Is it thought out more as this onboarding experience to get head started into the tool faster, or is it going to be a core part of the experience to help users kind of streamline and build faster and edit faster as they build their apps?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, this version is to help you kickstart to build the first version, not yet integrated into the building experience in the sense that you can click a new app within the platform and now use AI. So that's next step. That's definitely in the plan. And the way we see this is we want this to help you, 70, 80% at least to get you ahead of the time, ahead of your building. While templates have been doing that already to an extent, but templates are just templates, static, one-way template. But if you can have it more custom and more personalized, obviously it's going to be much more useful. And then, of course, adding on top of that, adding your own databases, so bringing your database and then using AI generation to build that, so you would almost have like 80, 90%, if not all the application ready for you to go at first, from the first try. So definitely will be integrated in the overall experience, and long-term, also, I think a lot more other parts will be inside the product to help leverage more of the AI.
Just follow up there. Would you be able to build with AI upon a database? Like, I have this database, I want you to build an app upon this structure?
Yes, totally. That's next step.
Okay, awesome.
Then
Hello. I want to join my friend there for his question when he asked about the integration from like the constraints and when we can't have a bigger application with this kind of no-code builders. So one time we're gonna try to build a software with Softr, for example, and then we're gonna want to scale it a lot more. So there you answered for how to integrate with other databases and all that. Is there a way, if you want to transition to another, to code or something else, to completely transition? Is it in the plan, or how can we find the solution for that?
Customize even further. Yeah, so we don't plan to kind of export the code because I think the main value of no-code platforms that we see is it has to become a tool, kind of day-to-day building your app, and just because it kind of doesn't serve the point. If you have to export, then it means it becomes technical. You have to involve engineers have to spend time on maintaining, continuing to build on top of that. So we want to have the platform completely basically out of the box, and it's just a tool for you to build something if you need it. And the way we want to let people extend it is, yes, definitely next step as part of the ecosystem is also going to be another initiative, which is building a component marketplace, what that means is letting anyone, developers or more code-savvy people, build their own components or building blocks, because we can't possibly offer all of the building blocks and people have very unique needs. So we will let them build their own components, put it on the marketplace or internally for their other team members, and then reuse that in the application. So that way we will let them extend the functionality beyond what we offer.
is there maybe one last question? Okay.
There's one more question here. What do you mean by... I see. It's a good question. So right now we're not asking, everything that you're going to use in Softr. Basically, you don't need to care about pricing. We pay for that. So I don't know how it will evolve in the future. It's something that we have to still figure out. AI is also new and they might change their pricing structures as well. So I think we'll see as we grow, but definitely we want AI to be kind of inherently into the application building flow and not something that you have to, purchase tens of tools to use with Softr, but it really be part of the building experience. So yeah, that's kind of the goal, and we'll see where we get to with the pricing.
I'm quite new to no code and everything, but what differentiates Softr from other programs like Bubble? Is it the AI aspect, or something else?
Not really. So good question. So anyone going into the no-code space, there's just too many tools every day launching something new on product hand. And it's a good question. So actually Bubble and ourselves are not really doing the same thing in the sense that we're not targeting same types of customers, not targeting same experience of building, and same, I guess, also use cases. So Bubble is much more powerful in terms of customization on what you can build, but at the same time with that power comes also technical difficulty, right? So when someone goes into the platform, they have to build everything from scratch, all of the elements, you know, the business logic and all of that. Think of Softr as Lego, basically Lego kit. We give you the Lego pieces, the modules that already come in pre-built with the functionality, like you can literally drag and drop a sign-in, sign-up blog, publish your app, and your users can start signing up. So you as a user, you don't need to care about what's happening on the database. How do I create this? What does it minimum for the user to log in into the app? So all of that is handled for you. So the way we think about app building is it has to be extremely simple and intuitive, really easy for you within the first 30 minutes to have your app up and running. And then at the same time as well, I think use case wise, we're more focused around business application use cases, etc. Maybe Bubble also changed their use case, like specifically if that's also a direction, but we are very focused on application or business use cases, even though the platform is completely open and it empowers really anyone to build lots of different apps. I mean, we have people building marketplaces, community hubs, and research directories, and everything else. Okay, that's it. If no questions, then thank you very much. Thank you so much. Feel free to come to our booth and try our AI app builder.
Thank you, Mariam.